Okay, so to start off with, we're all going to do this at the SMJFL level. So you will see it differently to what is on here. So for an example, we'll just use Ashwood's. Obviously, this will be something along your lines, what you're more likely to see. But I'll do everything at SMJFL level, which is league level, and then it goes down to club level. So the first thing we want to do when we're starting off is creating a product. So when we create a product, different prices, different everything that you need. So you click straight away on add new product. So it's really important that you add a new product each time. For some unknown reason, that if you copy it, things do get mixed up. The system does get mixed up with which year it's in. Even though you change it, it still kind of is hardwired for a certain thing. So always start a new product. The easiest way, if you wanted to have your old product next to your new one like this, you can always right click on your old product and open a new window and put them side to side. So then you don't get anything. You can basically copy and paste everything across, but it's just that initial first new product. So on here, stop there. So first.
So you can actually, there's a copy button from the last product from last year. So you can copy the product from last year. Just the no that do not do is don't edit last year's product and just change the name. Okay. So that's the do not do. So you can copy it, which will create a new product, a new ID, and you can change the details of that. But do not just edit the last year's product.
So you can press copy, press copy, and then edit your new one. Was there a question? Yes. So that'll be in the new copied one. So for instance, let's say I just have started a new product. So name the product. So if you've got, let's say girls under 8s. So you want this product specifically for the girls who are going to be playing under 8s. You go through, make sure the season is the season coming up. So that will be 2020. You can put your grouping in here. So if you have more than one setup, you can have SMJFL 2019 and put them all in the same. It just makes it look nicer when you're going through it. All staggers it all the way through. And for here, the product type. So these are all going to be memberships. So it's memberships to your competitor, to your team. And then you can write a caption in here if you choose to. Important is always press update to start once you've finished each page. So it'll take you to pricing. So this will be depending on how you run your club. That might be GSC included or GSC excluded. Everything like that, please take that into consideration when putting your amount on there. So important here is the sort of minimum system login to change price. You want that at club. Otherwise, if you go to association, that'll come to SMJFL, which you can do. But what you want to do is you want it all to club. And the second one, again, to club as well. So you can see here there's a single price and then multiple prices. So a single price is if you're just registering one person. So if you've only got one child who's want to play under 8's girl and she's a girl, you will, so if you're registering just one. However, multiple is if a family has multiple children who are going to be playing in the same age group. So on here, the first price might be 100, 90, 80, and let's say any other child after that, that's going to be registering for the girls under 8's competition or team, will then be free. As you notice, I put it in adult. I had issues with this last year, and so I just matched them up the same. So I have 100, 90, 80, 0. And again, your payment split, you want 100% to yourselves. Once again, once you finish there, update. So I'll keep on just updating and taking you back to that first screen. So one of the main ones, which I've had the issue with today, is the minimum birth date, the maximum birth date, and confusing them with each other, which I've done a lot for about 2 hours. So for this one, because it's the under 8 girls, we'll be picking female. So this means that straight away, it narrows the field down when people are registering. If they put male in, they will not see this product. If they put female in, it'll go to the next stage. And then once we put the parameters of the date in, it'll only register people who put their date of birth in and in between the maximum and minimum dates of birth. So that only will then capture the under 8 girls in that certain birth date. Now, there will be something a bit more on this, and I believe after a couple of phone calls, speaking to Paul and a few other people, I believe this is the correct dates. So the minimum date would be 214. And then would that be the same, wouldn't it? 212? Yes. Yeah. So the minimum, you've got to be turning 7 by the first of, no, I told you. Let's see. By the 30th of April, you've got to be turning 7 by the 30th of April to qualify for the under 8s. And then the maximum age is 2012. No, for this for under 8, so that'll be 2012. So 12 minus 220 is 8, which is under 8s. So yeah, I told you I'm confused. Paul, is this? So you've got to turn 7 by the 30th of April. That's 13. That should be 12 and that should be 13. That's what. Yeah. So I will go away and I will clarify it all and I will update this. So for now, we'll say that this is the minimum, 30th of the 4th, 2013. And so when we go into here, 30th April, that's the young end. Yeah, this is. So then it's this. It's the other way around. So this will be 30 April 2008. Paul will be. No, because that's all ages. So we want 2012. Is that correct, Paul?
Yeah.
So this will only capture females who were born in between 1st of January 2012 and the 30th of April 2013. Is it 31st of December? This is a killer. 2012.
If you copy the products from last year to this year, you just need that worked last year. Yeah, just like one.
So I believe. Oh. So that would be, that's too old, isn't it? Okay, as you can see here, they are correct. So when you do this one, make sure on member type, you click player. So then in the back end, this will help with reporting. It will come up as players and it's all set as active and everything like that. Once again, update. Takes you back to the front again. There's the filter. Availability. So if we wanted this product ready for the start of the new season or start of when everything's open, it's the 1st of November, 0001. So that's 1 minute past midnight. So everything will be active and on then. If you decide that you don't want this product to show until, or let's say, if you want this product to show up later, you can just obviously change the date. Sometimes, if you don't have a product active or anything, people can go through and register for free. So if you've not selected a product and made it mandatory or compulsory, if people do get on, they can go through and it won't ask for any payment and they'll register. And then it just, through the back end, it's quite hard then to find all that kind of stuff. So this one's going to be open once the registrations are all up to date and open. Once again, that's updated. So that's one for obviously the under 8s girls. If you didn't have any parameters or anything like that, all you do is just have your 2020 season, 2020, everything would be the same, except your filter would be different. Your filter, you wouldn't have anything in gender, you'd have any, and then you'd also have that number, which is the 30th of the 4th, 2013, and the biggest number, which is 2002. So, no, you shouldn't have 19-year-olds playing. No, 17 is 17 and a half. So this would capture. So this will cater for the up to 18s. So if it was if you wanted to do a product just for the boys, for under 17s, you would have to change, really testing me, you would have to use these as your maximum minimums. As you can see here, that would be 17 and a half. So that gives you that extra half a year. That makes sense. So yeah, that is a base. That is a product. That is separating, basically having a gender, certain gender, and a certain date of birth. So, for instance, you could have, if you really had the time and wanted to, you could have a different product for every age group and for every gender. So it's as far as you want to go with it. So if you have your under 12, all your under 12s are a certain amount and all your 13s are above a certain amount, this is where you do it. Each one you do, you have to do a new product. So for this, as you can see, this is now set up, and we'll update that. So then when you would go into your registration form, products, what did I call it? SMJFL. I use the search function when I'm looking for some products. So as you can see, there you go. It's the SMJFL girls under 8s. And what I'd do, I'd make it active and I'd also make it mandatory. So a little bit of a issue that people have is that they make multiple things mandatory. If your parameters aren't correct and somebody goes through, so let's say you do an under 8 girls, under 18 girls, one's 100 and one's 150. You don't set any parameters. If you make them both active and mandatory, when a female goes through, or even a male if you've not set them up properly, both those products will come up as mandatory. So then you'd have to pay 250 rather than your 100 or your 150. So it's completely up to each club on how they want to do their products. A lot of clubs just have this sandwich is one size fits all. There's others who have different ones for different age groups, boys, girls, early birds. So this is a good one for an early bird. So for an early bird, for example, when we go to products, I'm just going to continue to use the same product, if that's okay. SMJ. Oh, come on. Ah, yes. So I'll do this one, this SMJFL early bird. So as you can see, this is one I set up earlier. So it kind of basically says the early bird discount will finish on the 1st of the 1st. All the pricing set as a club. The product expires on that date, and whoever puts that date, they'll have season-based, and it'll be set players financial, another tool to help see who's financial things. So you have to go through this process to come up as a financial player. And then filter, I didn't put any filters on, so it'll just be anybody who wants to register can register. And then again, availability. The product will be available obviously on the 1st of November at midnight, or 1 minute past midnight, and then it will be only available to the 31st of December 2019, just before midnight. It's really important that when you do your products, that if you do have a product available for a certain time, make sure that the products are at the same time. So what happens is you might go early bird finishes on the 31st of December, and then your new product might kick in on the 1st of February. Again, there'll be a month's gap where people will then just be, because you've not set it as mandatory and that it's not in those parameters, they can just go through and register for free again. So is there any questions about those setting up the products and the different parameters or anything along those lines? Add any information. Yes, so it just says add any information here that purchasers should see before they complete their transaction. So it will come up, I believe it comes up as product, and then it comes up underneath when it comes up there. So yeah, that'll come up so that you can say anything you like onto that one. Excellent.
I'm not sure because I got put up with last year and I just couldn't work it out as well. If you have pricing,
Yep.
if you click on the multiple one, which the one and fill that all in, if you look at products, it will have the right price from last year. You could do it in the same way as multiple.
Yeah, you got to do it. You got to do it in both. Yeah, sometimes it'll come up. I don't know why.
User goes through, player goes through, whatever is text and Australian prices. When you're doing it in Australia, price versus non-price. So what you one or two things you can come back both solutions to the same price, or you just using multiple price, you just delete the price in this option.
So that's when you just multiple.
Yep.
Where
So
you put it in, if you change it to single. I think to break that out.
yeah.
Or you can put it to like email. Yeah. Because it wasn't showing on the mic. So you shouldn't have, sorry, so you shouldn't have anything on single.
If you're using multiple pricing,
Yeah.
you don't need to have a value as the single pricing. do have a value sacrifice box to make sure it's the same as for first adult, first child value.
Yes.
Okay, so just to recap, if you need more than one product, making sure to set all the parameters that you need, otherwise people register for free. There will be some handouts that I'll send through as well, and also you'll have this brilliantly made PowerPoint video as well, just to go back onto. So if is there any more questions? Yep. Yeah.
Okay, so after you've set up your product, you've got all your products sorted, there's two steps that you need to get it onto your registration form so your players and your club members can then purchase it and register. So the first step is to add it to the registration form, and that's what we're doing here under the product section. Okay, so we go down and we go, right, we want to add these products. Okay. Now, if I've only ticked the active part, it means they'll all display on the form, but it's not mandatory for the person to select it, so for the player to select it. Okay, so they could actually go through the form without selecting a registration product to against their name. All right, so to make sure that they get one product against their name, you should also tick mandatory. Now, this has nothing to do with the payment of the product. So what this does is say, the person goes through the form, we know that the under-8 girl, so I'm an under-8 girl, I'm registering, I automatically get assigned this product through the form and it gets stored against my name, okay? Now, to make it so they have to pay before registering, you need to turn on the compulsory payment section. And that is here. Okay. So basically this means when you tick that box, it means that no one can register without paying at the time of registration via online credit card or Polypay. Okay. So that means no one will come into your system, into your database, unless they have paid for the season. Yep. Mm-hmm. Yep. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah, so that's a really good question, which I'm going to cover through the conditional stuff at a later date. Not a later date, at a later time. Sorry, but yeah. So you would use if you set up your filters correctly, then you will be able to make sure that you tick mandatory for all your products, and the outcome and the system will then be able to work out what one to show to what person. Yeah, we'll go on to. Yeah. Cool.
So, there's no more questions on that one. We'll go into adding questions into your forms. So there's AFL questions, which I can't change, you can't change. There's SMJFL questions, which I guess I create or can make, and I can make that compulsory for you to use in your product, in your registration form, or I can make it kind of either way, and you can decide to use that and make it compulsory within yours, or just have it there as a question on there. So what we would do is for my level, for doing a question, I'll go on to Dale, would it be all right if I go onto your dashboard and everything? So for me, to create things for you to use for your forms. So member custom fields, so this is for members to go on. And it could be anything. You probably would have seen some of these on your forms and gone, why are they here? It's because at some point somebody's asked for it, and somebody, well, on our end, either myself or Emily have created it, and so therefore you can still see it, everybody can still see it. But what we want to try and do is try and get club specific questions where you can do your own questions within your own forms. So for instance, on this one, custom lookup 14, which everybody will be able to see on their one, is club volunteer role. And they have to click one of these. If you choose to, make it compulsory in yours. Each person who registers, so if it's obviously the parent who registers for the younger age kids, this will come up as a field. As a club, you can make it compulsory. So then every time somebody goes on, they have to pick one of these that they want them to have, want them to do. So when potentially, if you get, let's say everybody does it and everybody puts, I don't know, you get 20 from each one, you can do a filter on your forms by doing a report, seeing who wanted to be an umpire escort, and come up with all their details. You can send them an email going, I noticed that you wanted to do the umpire escort volunteer role. Great, we'd like to have you. And so this could be a way of collecting data on what people are willing to do and what people are willing to help out with. A lot of people, if you make it mandatory, they may click it because they got to go through, and then they go, oh, no, I don't want to do that, thank you. So it really depends on how you want to do it. You can do different questions if you did want to volunteer, or if you wanted to volunteer, what would you like to do? And it might be, I don't want to volunteer, but then you have all these, and people might then go, oh, I want to do club umpire, I'll do that. And then you can also do another report to get all that information, and then you'll have all their contact details with them as well. So there's everything there. So everybody will be able to get that one. So I'm just going to go on to Dale's at Ashwood, just to show you at club level. So on here, this is where you can decide whether you want the question or not. Now, there'll be a lot of them that you won't be able to choose anything at league level and at club level. That's just what has been basically said, that's what you've got to have as a minimum. So as we go through, so as you can see here in Ashwood's club volunteer role, so if I was to go compulsory, that means little red asterisk goes on it on the registration form. They must select something in there to carry on going forward. So, for instance, on here, I don't know, just trying to find one. Do you have any questions on yours that you made? So let's say, let's have a look here. For some reason, Ashwood may have wanted to know what triggers asthma. So this question might be their question, which you wouldn't see on your product or on your registration form. This is unique to what Ashwood would want. So, for example, again, go to the settings cog, top right-hand corner. I'll see if I can get this one right. Go to unlimited field configuration, I believe. Nope. Is this the one, Paul? Adding a question, is that the one? Yeah, so you can go here. So obviously no fields. Question. So this would be selected at your members. So when you're registering, these people who are registering, they will be classed as members. We want a lookup.
Yeah, so
Lookup.
obviously, lookup would mean that you could choose, it would, yeah, pretty simple, yes or no, or if you have other options, or if you just wanted free text field, you can choose it. Once you've done the, once you have that,
then you just need to create the options of what you want to do. So that's under the lookups section. Click into do you have a dog, and then you can just add your answers. So click add new option. Yeah.
So this would be unique only to Ashford. But if I was to do it at my level, at league level, everybody would have that question and then choose to have it on their form or not on their form.
We then add it into the form.
Yeah. So once you've done that, you can add it to the form by going back to fields. I like to use the Control F function for Windows, and I don't know what it is for Mac. That's just to find. Command F for Apples. And then, do you have a dog? As you see is on the left hand side. You can make it editable, which means that they don't have to click anything to go through, or you make it compulsory, so they have to answer that question as they go through. So you may want some questions that you really need the answers to at your club, or you may just go, do you know what? I don't want that. I want to make it. My registration form is only the mandatory of what we need and require. If not, we can get rid of them. So that's how you do it. So do you reckon anybody would use that function? Yes, which goes into a good segue. That's one of my best. Yeah, so that's going on to conditional products. So we'll get Paul up after this to do a quick talk about conditional products, because at the moment clubs can't do conditional products. It has to come through me, but hopefully with Paul being here, he can click a few buttons and then allow clubs to then do a conditional product, which then helps you decipher who gets what for what product and everything like that. But so it means yes for volunteer roles. Yeah, so yeah, so in your form, you can also put in links. So for Port Melbourne, I did ISC sizings. So if you do any kind of sell any extra products like a rain jacket or a hoodie or something like that, you can have in there a question saying what size hoodie do you want? All the ones in there, large, extra large, 6, 7, 8, 10. And then I've just lost my train of thought. And then there's a link. There's a link that says click here to see ISC sizing. So then you click it, it takes it to a new window. You can have a look through what sizing you are, go back to the registration form and go, I'm a XL. So it's just extra little things. And for St. Bede's, we did at the bottom of their form, we said something like by submitting you have read, understand and agreed to the St. Bede's code of conduct, and we put a link in. So all the link is HTML, which it's not too bad, I guess. So this is just something I was working on earlier today. So for the HTML, it's all about coding and everything like that, which is Really good. So in here, if you wanted to use it, you can put it in and you just take out the HTTP, kind of that bit. You can click to your own website, copy and paste that in there. And so when that comes up, all you'll see is the click here, which is in text there. So you could put click here to view this, or put something in there. Click it, it opens up in that window. So the issue with that is sometimes if you press back, you may lose all your registration, what you've just done. So a bit more of a fancy way would be to add in, so you change this to whatever you require to your website, just that bit, and then you'd add in the target equals that. And that will actually open in, once you click on it, it'll take you to a new window. So then they don't have to actually lose their place on the registration form. So that is something that obviously this will get sent out with, and I'll put a website on here that if you do your code, you can put it in, you can run it, and then it'll spit out what it looks like on one screen. You can click it and see what it does if it goes to the right place. So this can be used in all your questions and things like that on, do you agree with this? By submitting you agree that you have viewed this X, Y, and Z, and then you can hold them accountable saying, well, you had to have viewed it to go through because we've made it compulsory. So you've had to have clicked on it to do it. I think a couple of clubs used it last year. No, that'll be on the registration form. Yeah, it should be. Yeah. So the registration form, everything that's on the registration form last year that you had will be copied almost. It doesn't come up as a copy because you only get one link to edit or two links to edit or view, but everything will come straight across. So yeah, it's exactly the same form. So everything just will be there from last year. So you may need to update a few things that if you do have those or change websites or certain different things, you can do that in there.
Yeah, so. And was there a link there that they?
There was a link.
Yeah.
But they did have to, they couldn't go any further unless they.
Yeah. So it's basically putting the onus. You can only do so much. You can only put so many things in there. I mean, there's only so much you can do, and it's the onus is on them. Yeah. So it is useful for certain things, and if you have more specific things, I will be sending out like a couple of sheets on what we've done tonight. So if you get confused with them or anything like that, you can just give me a call. But I'm hoping they'll be so good I won't get any calls. So that is the links and the questions in the forms. Do you have any questions with those so far? Yeah, eventually I'll send all this through once I've gone back, edited the video, and made me sound a bit better. So what we'll go on to now is what Christine was talking about, was the conditional products, which isn't actually available at this point in time to clubs just yet. But I'm hoping that Paul will be able to do his magic. So basically a conditional product is you ask a question in your form. For instance, did you play in 2019? They say yes. Their product goes to potentially, let's say, a cheaper rate. If you are new, did you play for Bow Morris Junior Football Club in 2000 and no? Did you play for Bow Morris in 2019? Yes or no? If you click yes, you can get one product. If you click no, you get another product. So you can decipher what people get with certain questions and certain products.
Yeah, that's basically it. Yeah, so basically the name says it all. You're putting a condition on the product to do that. So yeah, so you would have been, currently right now, if you're logged in, you're on this page at your club website, you'll see the conditional fields question option, and that's been on for the last couple of years, I think. So basically what that does is basically you can say, based on the answer of a question above, show them questions below. So you might, a great example is, what are your parent guardian, or would you like to register, or would you like to give us more details on your parent guardian? And your answer would be yes, and you would show parent guardian details. If it's no, then you wouldn't. Another one would be, would you like to help, would you like to volunteer to help on the weekends? And you would say yes or no, and if they answered yes, then you would give them a list of jobs that they could choose from, and you can store that information. So instead of displaying these fields as optional to fill out, so the person just goes through and goes, oh, I don't want to fill them out, you can actually start making the form smarter to say, yes, show this if they've answered that. So the conditional product, has anyone used the conditional fields aspect like that? Yeah. Yeah. Perfect. Yeah. So that's a really good. So there'll be two ways you could. Well, sorry. Let's do it. You're new or returning, or you want to encourage your Auskickers to come to your club. So basically, first you need to create the question that asks them that. So in this situation, you would go to your unlimited custom question. Oh, do you? Your fields? Yeah, cool. So what, Auskick? Yeah, ever participated in Auskick? Yeah. Yeah, okay. Oh yeah, there you go. Do you still do Auskick? Yep. Okay, so what we can do here is, I'm just going to change that to compulsory for the time being. Okay. And then what I'm next going to do is I'm going to come in and I'm going to create a discounted product. Yeah, so that's what we've just done. Okay. Okay, so the way this, and this can work across like vouchers as well, so it's not a full like voucher system that works well. That works how you would think. What this is doing is it's just basically saying if you answer A, then show B. If you answer D, then show F. So it's using a kind of a what if sort of function. So if you're wanting to give a discount to members or something like that to encourage them to return, then you need to have two products. So you need to have your normal price product, and then you need to have a discounted product. So coming into here, I've copied my Ashwood 2020 product. Okay, I'm going to edit this one, and this is going to be, instead of being copy, it's going to be returning members. Okay, and the price is going to be 120. Okay, so I've left all the other filters and stuff as is. All right, so two things you need to do. You need to have a different product with a different price, and then you need to have a control field, so the field that the person needs to answer to then activate which product will show. Okay. We then go back to our registration form, and we can edit, and we're now in a position to add a conditional product. Okay, so very simple. Just follow the prompts. You select your control field. Auskick. There it is. Right. There we go. You still do Auskick. Has the value. Yes. Now, I presume, do you still have it? Do you still do Auskick's not a lookup field? It's just a free text field. Yeah. Okay. So if you're using a free text field, then the person has to match this exact text, and I'll come back to a really good example of how we use this going forward. And then we can choose to show or hide that product. So what we want to do is we want to show. That's because I haven't added the product to the form. Sorry about that. This is what happens when a person who's used Mac for the last 10 years jumps on a PC. Actually, returning. There we go. Save. There we go. Additional products. So it's kind of it's a little bit foolproof because it's not going to allow you to add a product that you haven't already added onto the form. So there's going to be no risk of you putting on the 2019 product. Yeah. No, you don't. You just yeah, and that's what we're working on, bringing this down to the club level. So if the value is yes, then show the returning member or Auskick product. Okay, and we save that, and that will just show there. Yeah. Okay, so another example would be, so once we'll go, we want to promote new participants. So you might have run your club might have been creating a link with a local primary school, and you want to get them involved into your club. So you might want to go into the school, you get a couple of your coaches to go into your school and say, hey, come and register. Put your school name down in the form, and you'll get we'll take $20 off your fee. Okay. So once again, we'll copy the product. So we've got a new product. I'll work out which one's the copy. Here we go. I'll go and edit it. And it might be this time we might go JFC school discount. Pricing. So we're going to go $20 off. Update. And we then need to add it to the registration form. Okay, and then we want to create a field. Something like that. And you've set your to a text field. Right. So we now add that field to the form. And then we would link the two product, the field and the product together. So it might be, and you might, during that school session, you might have given them a code that said, you know, Ashwood 2020 or something like that. School discount. Okay, so you're going to now say Ashwood 220. I think it's, I'm pretty sure it's case dependent, but let me, yeah. And then I would show that one and say, Yeah. So I could change that field to a yes/no question, and then you could put that field as, did you attend a school, like a Beaumaris school, come and try session run by Ashwood JFC, and they would then, and if they answered yes, then you can show that thing. Cool. So then when we're going through the registration form, yeah, no, so this is what, so I'll show you. Pardon? It doesn't matter because I'll just put the date of birth. Let's okay, and then we should see, so if I scroll down, I should only see my, yeah. Cool. So if I put in Ashwood 2020, I don't think this is going to show because my date of birth is wrong. Yeah, why isn't it showing? Huh. You don't know who that is? Oh, it's going to be wrong one. Lots of clicking around. Anyway, this is what happens when you try and set it up on the fly.
How would a product like that interacts with those if you do a family? Yeah. I mean, does that override or what?
Yeah, so that's
You've got to
yeah. Yeah,
Yeah, yeah.
Oh, yeah. There's, yeah. So do that. So I was in my renewal, I was looking at the and saying, oh, yeah,
yeah,
But what I'm saying is, let's say you've got that position in you've got an old sticker.
Yeah.
And you only want to charge now $200.
Yeah.
Instead of, and then you to play.
yeah. So
You're going to change, say, maybe $100.
Yeah.
What's it going to charge?
Yeah, so the how the multiple pricing works is it recognizes so if you say you're going to register 3 children, right, and the first 2 children select or are based on your filters get shown the normal fee, which is multiple pricing, then it's going to say, all right, count 1, we've counted 1 child because they're taking this product once. The second time they count, the second child takes the product the second time, so they'll get the second thing. And if the third child's added, is used the code, and so then gets shown a different product, it doesn't start that count again. It starts the count again. It says, well, the third one is not part of this 3 because they're not selecting the same product. So the third one's a different, because they're selecting a separate product, it doesn't count as the part of the product. Yeah. That will charge, yeah. No. But that's just one of those the limitations that we have on that. No. Yeah. You can go down that. You can go down that. Yeah. Yeah.
On top of. So you've got your member, basically, doesn't matter what you want to do, and it's got multiple kids.
Yeah.
And then separately, you choose the new member.
They register separately.
So it's registered separately because it's a separate cost and it's sort of.
Yeah.
It's up to them to choose.
Yeah.
Like because that cost is only to cover shorts and frocks, then, and it actually states that it's what it's
Yeah.
to cover. So we can have returning members choose to do shorts and socks as a new player, and that's fine, they get a discount. But it's always separate because that's what the cost of a new player is. For our.
But if an existing player registers a new player, then you've got the duplicate in the system, which is not ideal.
No, they're still the same member number, it's the product that
Yeah, yeah.
shorts and socks.
Oh, okay.
So rather than it being new return, it's member, basic member or member plus socks and products.
Yeah, pretty much, yeah.
Oh, that's very confusing.
But there's 2 links there to click on. One is returning and the other is a new. Is that what it is?
So that was all the membership will be compulsory.
Yeah.
So whoever is that's compulsory.
You have it.
Active.
Yeah.
So then they can automatically go on.
Oh,
So it's like having add-ons, like so you. Oh, same link. No, same link, same link. Yeah.
And the way it's worded, you can see it when we do a registration.
Yep.
The 2 differences with the city basic and the city shorts and socks. New membership, so you can always choose to not do it.
Yeah. So that is so that's the conditional product, how it works and how it sort of operates. Like I said, it might not be useful for some people, but it definitely has been used for other situations. For example, in Tasmania this year, they've just launched a Tas ticket to play, which is a government voucher which gives $50 off $50 to a participant who wants to play, and so they use all the TAS clubs use this conditional product functionality to say here's the full price, or if you want to use your TAS tick to play, here's that price. Oh yeah. Yeah.
So what I'm saying is, well, we do it off, we don't give them a discount, but we give them, when they shop, they get this.
Yeah,
So
you do it that other way.
Yeah, so can you have something in here where they can actually get a voucher?
You can't.
We get them to show them.
Yeah, so you can't. We don't have a function where you can generate a voucher and issue a voucher through the system.
What is vouchers in the product?
It's not used.
Oh,
Yeah.
That's another problem.
Yeah.
They use it on one of the sports, but they don't know sport can really use it.
Okay. So I think that I'll be.
Yeah.
With that conditional product where we showed school 2020, national 2020, if you only get it to 5 kids, let's say, and those 5 kids use that, but let's say those 5 kids talk to somebody else and say, I've got free or whatever, there's no limit on how many lets through.
Yeah.
So if you have that code is good for until you take the product off.
Yeah.
So as soon as you take that product off, that will not happen. So if it's maybe like say,
Or
just one person or something like that.
Yeah.
So there is a lot of things may be useful for you. A lot of them may not be. But it's just knowing that you have that ability if you need to use it or find a use for it, you think, oh, I'll do this. That's what it's there to help with.
Yeah.
We have a hardship thing at Bentley, and we don't want someone to pay, but there's no way of have to turn the payments off, get them to register there and then.
Well, this
turn it back on again. But is there any other way we can do it without?
So this would be the exact way there. So you would issue. So you might say you would set up a question to say, are you a hardship candidate? And if they said yes, then you'd say, please enter a code. Yep.
Discount, but it asks, do you have a Bentley code?
Yeah.
Or Bentley voucher? Everybody else can go, well, I don't know what
No.
that is.
Yep.
So they didn't have it because they're the only people who have it.
Yep.
That product, and then they go type in free fees, enter the new product will come up, use the voucher,
Yep.
which is nothing.
Yep.
And
And then
bring that up. It's very, like, we have to go hard as well, and like, myself, who's telling me you're gonna go on it for 15 minutes, and they register on
Yeah.
it. And I have it on my phone, so even if I'm not at home, I can go to my sport, it costs like here, and just lounging to hit the
Yeah.
And there's a risk that someone else can register at the same time, but I mean, what's the chance?
But I have an admin product, and it's only for that person who I know their date of birth. So that's how that's
nice.
anyone else getting on at the time.
That's a really good workaround.
Yeah.
So you set a product with a date of birth that's very specific.
Specific only to that.
Yeah, good. Nice. I like that. I'm gonna use that use that going forward. Yeah. Nice. Cool. I'm just gonna remove all these things.
Yeah.
Ah.
So if you bring a family, register your family, is that question going to come up for each child or?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Specific things.
Yeah. No. Yeah. So it will be for each show. Yeah. Yeah. So to examine them. Oh yeah. Which one now formats do that? So is that products? No. So that is.
So hopefully that has either helped or hindered everybody. But like I said, it's not going to be for everybody. Some people may go, nah, I just want to have one product open to everybody, and that's that, and that's fine. That's up to the club themselves. Some clubs may want to do different things. Don't get too exotic, because I will have to pass you on to Paul probably. So the final thing on the lists of anything before we have any questions or anything like that is restrict certain age groups and genders for when. So let's say you're under 8, you've got 25 registered, and that's your ideal number is 25, and you do not want any more under 8s, boys or girls, to register at your club. So from here, from registrations, you go to form restrictions. Does exactly what it says on the tin. You go to add, top right, and you've got to get your dates of births in there again. So, as we've learned earlier, I'll leave those blank and everybody can fill them in later. So, I know I'm going to get this wrong first time round. So, if we're just wanting to stop any under 8s, you don't want any more under 8s to register to play in your under 8 team, even though they can probably go and play up an age group, but we'll say that they can't for this instance. The older end of the date range is the 1st of Jan 2012. Is that correct? And so let's say either or. So I don't think you can, I think you have to select then. I do apologise. So if you want to restrict all those ages, you'll have to go female and then do another one for male. So update that restriction. So that means anybody who clicks to register and then puts in their date of birth in those parameters and clicks female will say, sorry, please find another club, basically. And then, yeah, but I think we did. I can't remember. Because, yeah, on the message, like the generic messages, because everything is just, they do it as an AFL whole, so it's dictated by what they say on it, and it basically says, unfortunately, this might say, unfortunately, Beaumaris Football Club cannot take registrations for this age group. Please click here to find a new club or something. Whereas you probably want to say something. I don't know what we did, but do you mind if I go and have a quick look? Oh yeah, sorry. Can you please delete that? So then, yeah. So if you wanted to do that you'd have to do that for boys and girls. So it's obviously you've got to do it gender specific. So if you just wanted to do females, just leave females up there. I've got to remember. So. Yes. Yeah, we must have taken it off. Just because it just basically said we don't want you to find a new club. So we took that off. Pardon? So that might be another thing that Paul may be able to do. So once the restriction comes up and you register and it's restricted, it comes up and says no room, go somewhere else. But what would be nice is if it could say there's no room, but maybe contact the club contact to see if we can fit you in, or something along those lines. And then it uses maybe a contact here, because we did it as a development manager. So we made the primary contact for the development manager for Beaumaris as the website. So every time it came up, it would say Beaumaris Football Club website, and it'll come up as email address or website, sorry. So then every time something came up where it had to have contact details, it'd say go to the website or email here for more information. So that's another thing that we're hopefully working on with Sports TG. So that does conclude the. Yep. So once you've done a registration, a lot of clubs leave this all blank, which I would suggest putting something in there. So when they register, they don't just get like a generic email. It'll come up with, let's say, or we'll go on to Ashwood's one, and they actually once they confirm, once somebody registers, they receive a confirmation email to that email that they've registered with, and it may be something as registration forms. It may be something as quick and easy.
So there's different boxes that you can use. That first one is just when they're logging in, they're having any troubles with registration, they know who to contact sort of straight away. And then just a bit of information, just ask yourself about when they start, what happens if you've got multiple children. Don't use the link that I've sent them because I use the renewal automatic emails. So they've got to use that link on there so they can get that discount. And then go into credit card. When they pay, they just get a message from us saying thanks for paying, and then confirmation emails. Anything else you want to tell them about when paying at the start or when they'll find out more information. So it's quite useful just to have that comes through automatically in an email. You don't have to kind of every time a new person comes through, send it out to them as well.
And also in this, you can obviously that web link. You can do hyperlink by using the HTML code we learned earlier today. Yeah, we can do that. So with the layout, sometimes people ring me and say the layout is terrible. Things need to move. So you might have name, and then school, and then parent name, and so it's all. Oh yeah. So anything you see with a blue thing on this side, basically means it's editable or deletable. Anything that doesn't have it there, which is a few, is not deletable from your ones at this point in time. So this is the layout. If you say, let's say you want a school discount and you want that up, yeah, just up in, if there's a school question somewhere, school, pop it there, done. So when they do the form, it'll all come out like that now. So then that moves up, and you can play around with that as you wish. Is there any further questions? Yeah, scan. Hold on. I believe. Paul? I'm pretty sure you can. There's a. Paul? Oh, okay. Sorry.
So here's an on there. So you can click on there and upload it.
Can parents do that?
I have to do it for.
Yeah. parent, if it's on that section, but I believe there is a place where you can actually where you can upload a document.
I mean, that's what we've been on the extension.
So it looks like it's documents.
Let's just test that.
You could do.
Yeah, so what you could say, if you've got are you a new member, if you've got you could put a question to say something like, are you a new member? And if they said yes, then it would show the document field. And if they said no, it wouldn't show the document field through the conditional questions section. That's all right. I don't need the product though. Just testing the. Oh right. No. That's the system working.
So this is going to on just to double check that it's the right one click. What we're waiting at, and also with your parent groups and anything like that, it would be great if they can use the same name and the same date of birth and the same email. If you
Please, if any progress on remember we discussed when people can't remember the Gmail that you sent if they're not the ability to do a prompt, they can say, can't remember, and it shows you the last few letters of the email that you used.
what you could do is download a report with all people's emails. No.
Before I.
Put it in Excel, do a mail merge, and send something like, oh, hi, if you're going to register your email address is the one I've emailed you. If you don't know that is, this is it. And then go, please use this to register. But if they don't use that email anymore, then no, because they may just have gone, oh, what happens sometimes is a kid may register, and then the year after the kid goes, I'm not registering, I'd register on his one. You get a duplicate birth from, or it's so finicky that in the space after name changes it. So
That's why I use the word real email, because I actually do that and it sends it out to
Yeah. So just. Yeah. So just go into here.
So I've worked for NFL, I'm the football coach, but I've been the secretary of stuff for the last 8 years at my club, so I've been on both sides of it. I used to look after Hoskins, so I know all the Hoskins people.
Yeah.
So once you find it, you put it as editable in the field. You'll notice that's the one IoT document, and obviously you can just shift it up. There's files, however you want to do it.
We change what it says so that people know that it's actually person.
You could put a header in.
Yeah. So I would.
You could do a head block, which I think is just header.
Yeah.
Block, and put in, please upload your identification, passport, or whatever you accept, or we accept. And then it'll come up as a, and then it just has underneath upload.
Yeah.
So with the view, just called
Documents.
Yeah. Document. Yeah. So yes. The security concern. Yeah. So no. So yeah. So we are secure. We are, but to obviously, we're as secure as we absolutely can be into the letter of the law, but there is obviously things that get hacked all the time. And so if people do have security concerns about copies of documents being removed, then that's I suppose that's a call actually. But if they're just emailing, if they're taking a scan and then emailing it to you, our system is, this is probably more secure than an email from one person to another. I suppose for instance, the NRL league across all their states, they make it compulsory to upload for new players to upload their birth certificates or passports as part of this, and they use the same system. Yeah, and then it will be up against the person's record.
So that was just on about security. So some people were worried about the security that you say it's more secure than email.
Well, I mean, if the person is scanning, it's as secure as a person scanning an email, scanning the document and sending it to you in an email, as uploading it to our system. But when we don't claim we're not 100%, well, no one is 100% secure. So there is that. So if you have parents that are concerned about security, then I wouldn't be asking. There's more hassle when you're discussing that with them than putting this document loader on. Yeah.
So, as per the bylaws, it's proof of age must be cited. So you don't have to put it online. It could be the fact that if somebody comes to an open day or registration day or whatever clubs do, they go, we want to register our kid. There's a passport. Person goes, tick, passport, cited, done.
Last year, the kids that used to register for Auskick, they stayed as
It stays in pending
until you saw, and then you can click it. The kids that went now last year, they automatically, and so we didn't have to. It was too hard to track the ID.
Go back in.
We couldn't track the ID. I didn't know who you was.
Yeah.
Basically, what happened was previous years they were classified as a member, which means that every Oscar needs to be resolved with their community footy record. We changed that so we just continued the record across, which meant less work for the association administrators, but then obviously that didn't go up to them, which meant there was no your point of view, which is now being fixed, so the Oscars will go straight into the opinion state and you need to approve what they do.
Can I just talk about this one?
Yeah, so we're just going to, another good tool to use is the communicator. So I'll just let Dale.
So this is where you can do the member renewal. So come November 1, so it's just under communications here. You've got these areas here. So if you hit on member renewals, you bring up that you want to send it to the past season. So it would be the 2019 people because there's no one in the 2020. Tick this box. Every time you see it include parents, that means it's going to send it to both parents if they're both registered. If you don't have that, it's only going to go to the parent that registered them. So if you've got split families or mum or dad, if you get to pass it on, that's a really good tool. And then you go continue, and I basically just go, yep. Say that again.
So let's say they're both at work, they both get it.
Yeah.
And they both register.
It won't let them because once they've registered. Yeah. Yeah.
As long as you only pay for the product once, this in your product set up to 10% of multiple purchases, you leave it unchecked, then they can pay for it once. So first the mum will go to pay and the dad both they'll see the product and say purchase, and obviously
Sorry.
What's only allowed one person and one email might be registered. Yeah, well, only go to the. So if it was, Darren saying, if it's not been registered, and that's the one that's been.
Normally the one person who registers in the first place is going to be the same person who registers them each year. I always just send it to both parents so they're getting it, because it might be that dad says to mum or mum says to dad, hey, did you see the email? Don't, whoever does the registration, register. It's just a reminder to them to remind them to register, really. When you... All right, yeah, I haven't had that much trouble, but I'll just go to here. So select all at the beginning of the season, just select every team, even if they weren't teams that your kids played in. It's only going to send it to the teams that your club had teams in, sort of thing. Sorry? Yeah, no. Oh, you can untick them then. Yeah, so just untick them. And let's just say it was getting close to the end of the season and, the only team that hadn't registered was your under 10s or whatever from last year. You can just click that one team if you want to. But I generally just click them all. I certainly don't sit there and go through it all. Confirm the recipients. So it will, thinking, it's not sitting there for some reason, but basically it'll have all the recipients there. Oh, hang on. No, you only get it once. I've used this for years. People only get it once. The other thing is that if you do this, say, tomorrow, and then you do this in 3 weeks' time, anyone that's registered within that time doesn't get the email again. But it only goes to people who haven't registered. So that's the beauty about it. It'll go if they've got 3 kids, they'll get it 3 times. But I'd rather them get it 3 times than not get it at all, sort of thing. So yeah, you've got to choose the form here, which is there's only one form to choose. So you choose that. You can then customise your email. So you can put in here. You don't have to type in anything here. Hi member, that's automatically done. It'll just say, Ashford Football Club is now open for registrations. I just add some things in there, jump in early, get in before Christmas, whatever you want to put in. Yeah, so you can just add stuff in there, do it all there, and then you basically hit, I won't do it, or everyone in my club's going to get a renewal notice. You hit send renewals, and it will say to you it's gone to 297 or whatever it is. So it's a really good tool to use, so you're not having to sit there and also in that box up here, that's where I write to them, if you've got more than one child registering, do not use this link. Use, and I put the link in there, use this link to register to get your discount, sort of thing. So, because if they're going to get one for child A, child B, they click on child A and register, they don't get that discount, sort of thing. So that, you put the link in there right from the beginning. One of the other things in communications, well, Paul's here, I'll tell him again because I tell him every year. So who uses Communicator? Yep, so some people do, some people don't. One of the good things about sending a message, again, you've got all of this area here. When you hit the membership group, again, when you click players, you also go include parents. Then that email is going to go to both parents as well. It's really good if you're sending it to everybody in your club. Where it's not great, and I talk to Paul about this every year, is if you set up custom groups, so you might have your under 8 blues, your under 10 pinks, that sort of thing, it won't let you send it to both parents. It'll only go to the first name parent. So our team managers don't tend to use this, and that's one small thing I'm trying to get to change, because then you could use this more as well. And then the other thing about it is that if people are saying, oh, you can also set up in here in the profile right from the beginning, the email, you can put in the email address and that, so then you don't have to do that every time. It's just set there. And if the secretary is using it and the registrar is using it, the social person, well, when they, you don't have to change the profile, but when you go to send an email, they just take my name out and put theirs in, and just for that one time sort of thing. But that saves you setting that up. And the other thing is here is that if people are saying to you, oh, we're not getting the emails, they're not coming through, it actually lists them all here as to what's gone on. And if you go over to there, it tells you how many people received that. And if somebody says that they're not getting the email, you can actually click on what was actually there, and it tells you exactly who's received it as well. So I do highly recommend using Communicator. Yes. You can't, if you've got access to the AusKick database, if you're the coordinator at the AusKick Centre, yes, you can, but it's not. This is just for the juniors, but they're two different databases. With that, I think that's the main thing there. No, we've never used that. Yeah. Yeah, it does cost you money. You've got to set it up, sort of thing. So, yeah. So when you go to send a message, you have the option of doing either, we've got to do this, you have the option of either doing email or, I'm just going to click on one of those. Maybe I'll look at the computer. And you have to click whether it's for a primary or secondary purpose. Basically what that means, that's all around the privacy rules. So if you are sending something out purely about your club, so it's only about anything to do with your club, you're always going to tick primary. If the cricket club at the end of the season asks you to send something out, you can only send stuff to people who have opted in for communications, and you need to click on secondary purpose because not everybody's has opted in for that. And then if you go to here, this is where you click SMS, email, or you can do a combination of both. You can send it via email and SMS. But you have to have credit sitting there in this system. How much is it? Yeah, not sure.
To be honest, I wouldn't
use WhatsApp.
Yeah, like there's some really good team-based, what's it called?
Team app and team stuff.
Team stuff. So team stuff is a really good team app where most people have notifications on there.
Yeah, of course you can.
A question I had, we use team app this year. We use team app this year. And then manually where there's doing and then manually upload into team app.
Yeah.
Do you have an API or a link or a app? What is there anything you can do from because it was a manual process? Yeah, no, it's because people say, oh, we've updated the team app. It's like, well, that's a database. And then you've got to go in here, it just becomes complicated. So is there a conduit API?
Yes, so we do have an API. We're pretty strict on who we give it to. And team app is definitely not one of those apps we give it to.
And is there a reason for it?
Yes.
So if you're going to include volunteers a lot more on your database, but also all of your coaches flick in from Coach AFL onto your sports TG website now as well. This field over here, it has all season coach, umpires, volunteers. If you have all, then this number down here is going to be higher than if you just picked season players. At the moment, I've got 192 because I've got them all showing. If you only want to know how many players you've got registered, make sure you've got that sitting on season player because it changes. So you could think that you've got a lot more players than what you've got with that. And when you run, if you run reports at all, always drag over the field season player equals yes, so that you are purely getting your players, not your volunteers as well. If you ever want any help with reports, whether you're in my region or not sort of thing, and you've obviously got resources with Ian and that sort of thing, I run them all the time. I'm more than happy to help you devise them and you can save them and that sort of thing and give you some sort of good information. Yeah. Yeah, and they're easy. You just keep trying, and some of the new functions they've got. Yeah. Mm. And I can show you those tricks. And you can save them, and you don't. Once you've got them, you save them, and then it's a live document. It will just run it as soon as new stuff comes up. So you can do it for finances to find out who, especially if you've got the payment turned off, you can work out very quickly who's paid, who hasn't, sort of thing. So yeah. So if you ever do want any help, just grab my email from Ian, and I'm more than happy to help you. Yeah, or contact us.
One of the issues that we had last year was compliance in terms of volunteers and workers.
Yep.
We had $1,900 last year. At the moment, as I understand, the only way we can cross-check volunteers is using the ever-proof system. Does SMJFL have any intentions of trying to make this easier and streamlining it for folks? Because we have a child safety officer who's tearing her hair out. Primarily because we rotate along the rules that require checks. Last year we made every child that registered must have a parent with a working children check. But it doesn't then go on. You can't cross-check. Correct. So people could put in 0000 and fudge a valid date, and there was no way of actually cross-checking it unless they had an approved account, and that then had to be done manually. And it was a so obviously the coach, assistant coach, team manager, and trainer have to have working children check. The
umpire escort. No, not goal umpire or not. Yeah.
So then there were a number of people obviously who rotated through those roles in trainer and so keeping track of who did and didn't have these checks, I totally appreciate that they need to happen, but is the league going to make this?
So once it's in Everproof, you can actually run an Excel spreadsheet of it. And so what I did for, so I kind of did the volunteer coordinator role. What I did for our team managers was on the Google Docs that they have, which has got all the different teams, there was a sheet with everything. So they knew normally who they used, but let's just say two people away at a wedding or whatever, and they had to get someone from another team. They could easily look on that document and go, oh, look, this game's before us or after us. I can use them. So you can populate that off Everproof. It's in the archives area. It comes either fortnightly or monthly. You can set that up, or you can hit a manual one and it'll come to you in a day or two as well. So, yeah, I can show you that as well. So once all your information's in Everproof, then, yeah, it's easy to see that. I get that it's a bit annoying trying to get it all in. And look, your first year or two is your hardest because you're getting all your volunteers in. After that, it's that 30% turnover type thing where you're still going to have some who are staying on. You don't have to do anything because they're already in the system. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Yeah, definitely. No, and I haven't had a chat with Paul, but one of the discussions I've had with people at the AFL is every proof have somehow got this system that connects straight to the Department of Justice, and that's the one thing they've got over any other thing out there. And what I would love to see is Sports TG, that once a Working with Children's went in there, it did the same thing, because that cuts out the middleman. Because we can upload first aid and that as add documents to volunteers. We just get volunteers to register through here, and then it's a one system thing. But at the moment we don't have that. But I'll chat to Paul more about that, because I've been on the working party with the child safety with the AFL for the last 3 and a bit years, and I've had lots of discussions around with the Justice Department and that sort of thing around that sort of thing. Yeah. It's not compulsory. It's if you want them to be. It depends. Yeah.
So, I mean, you can get volunteers to register.
Is there anything that we're going to change in the drop? You know, this year it has to have a coach has to be registered to be able to
Yeah.
bring your team sheet. So it's not going to change any of the drop boxes that you've got to come to school on in there.
No, the only difference that there might be next year is that it might be the main coach and all assistant coaches, no matter what the age group. So that might be the only change, sort of thing. So pretty much in SMJFL we do all except for the modified. The assistant coach doesn't have to be accredited, but that might come in. So, but no, there won't be any other roles that will be compulsory. Yes, yeah, you can just type it in as needed.
There's a quite cool company lost the file. Yeah, pretty good system. And showing some models, trialing that some of the clubs across to help say you can't this really just working your club vehicle scoring or the timekeeping or umpire walk around to the field. What's called yeah, stuff.
We did go for 10 minutes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They do moving, so they have no marathon to monitor the volunteers. What actually
And come finals time, I use signup.com, which is a volunteer one, and it's free. It's really easy to use. Yeah. Yeah, oh, it's, I was just playing, but you can do whatever. Yeah, that's fine.